Well, hello there.
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of the Tabletop Trio Podcast. I'm Bob.
I'm Joe.
And we've got a fun one for you today. No Graham this week.
Nope.
Summer camps and all that fun stuff. But we've got a fun show for you. Joe and I did a lot of fun things separately over the weekend.
Yet so close together.
We were caught in the only fuck you rainstorm across the entire state of Pennsylvania.
It started pouring, and I was like, wait, they said no rain. And then I look out the radar, and across the entire state of Pennsylvania, nothing. And then there's just this little acorn-shaped ball exactly where we were.
And it was literally just a fuck you storm. Nowhere else across the state. And as I saw the message in our one group chat of you guys, I'm like, you know what? It's raining here. I pull up my thing. Same exact one.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, neat.
I looked up how close we were together. It's 15 minutes.
Oh, my God.
We were 15 minutes away from each other. At some point, you could have just rolled down to camp.
I probably
Just
could have
to
just
say hi.
just camped with you guys to go to the race.
You probably could have.
Next year, I might try that if it's the same weekend.
Right? We'll try to do everything. We'll try to do it all. But it was a lot of fun. You see, we've got more Team Banana merch.
Yes.
One of my buddies, Dish, who is, I'd call him the leader of Team Banana. Like, I took the torch and ran with it for merch. But he's the one that created it. Mm-hmm. And I went to his house and he's like, I've got hats for everyone. And I was like, I didn't order hats. Where did you get? And he just pulls out just like 15 baseball hats, all different colors. He's like, you just pick a color. And I was like, what's with the black ones? He goes, those, are $10 each. I have to charge for those because I spent money on it. And I was like, why? And then he just goes, flashlight. I was like, first of all, I didn't know that was made. Second of all,
that's amazing.
Here's $10. I need that hat.
That is so good.
It came in so handy.
Oh, I can imagine, especially with grilling or doing anything at night, because you're in the middle of a field.
Yeah, I mean, granted, we ran 2 generators. We had 2 RVs this year, which was a fun experience. Though we still bought the mini fridge outside. We had our 2 griddles. The generator ran camp lights. Like we had all like the hanging lights around.
Yeah.
So like by no means was it dark.
No. But it helped.
It did help when I was like cooking or looking for something. I was like, God, I wish I could see where I was looking. And then that helped. Or like, porta potty. Great for the porta potty.
How was the shower this year? 'Cause I know you guys usually do like outdoor shower kind of thing.
We did end up needing the outdoor shower.
Really?
Because our RV had I believe a 50-gallon like freshwater tank, which we thought was good. Turns out that's only good for about 3 to 4 showers.
Oh.
And we didn't know that.
Which for like a single person there is usually fine.
Right. Or like a 2-person, RV.
Yeah.
But we didn't know that. So we took quick showers, but it was Friday night when we were done setting everything up.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just want to shower real quick because like I am proper stanky. So I did the quick shower. Everyone else did a quick shower. The next morning, someone goes to shower after the first start of the event. There's no water.
Oh.
So we were like, good thing we have fucking 40 gallons of water in buckets.
Yeah.
So we set up our regular like outdoor shower, which we do have the propane like instant hot water.
Yeah.
So by no means are you showering in cold water anymore. You're still
You're still having a good shower.
You're still getting a nice hot shower. It's just outside now.
Oh darn.
Yeah.
Which then again, granted, it was kind of humid on Saturday.
It was.
Sunday was pretty miserable, but I think you guys were home by Sunday, right?
Sunday around 2 we got back to dishes.
Okay.
Because said rain really held us up.
Oh, I will share my story when you're done about rain.
So yeah, we got we got paused for about an hour and a half. And then everything else kind of started to slow down just because everything's wet now.
Oh, yeah.
But, we did this typical, I have my Jeep. I drag a U-Haul 6x10 trailer that is just chock full of shit. Dish drove the RV this year, and then I think his cousin ended up pulling his own RV, so we ended up having 2 RVs this year.
Oh, wow.
The air conditioning was fantastic because it was so hot.
Oh, yeah.
And it was nice to just like, I'm going to go in the air conditioning for like just 5 minutes. I'm going to go sit in air conditioning.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, and then we come back out and you kind of like reset. But the RV experience was fantastic. Super comfy to sleep in. We didn't wake up damp, which is really all you could ask.
There's nothing worse than when you're camping and you just wake up wet.
Well, that's the problem with the Poconos, which is where we were, is it's like 95 to 110 during the day, open field, that's it. And then at night, it dropped down to 64.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, we were outside, we were just hanging out, we were drinking, just relaxing. Around 10 o'clock, you started to talk. If you took like a deep exhale, you actually saw smoke.
Mm-hmm.
That's how quickly the temperatures dropped and how humid it got. So at that point is when we start like putting like tarps and everything on anything that needs to not be wet. Because you just wake up with a film on everything. It's not little. Everything's just fucking soaked.
Oh, yeah.
But it was good. It was a lot less this year, but still somehow more. Mm-hmm. Me and Dish still aren't to be trusted at the stores buying food. I've
seen you and Graham
it was
at Target.
It was exactly the same.
Oh, no.
So we didn't know what to buy for dinner for one of the days.
Joe, I have good news and bad news.
We were supposed to just do steaks. Ended up doing surf and turf. I bought shrimp.
Oh.
So on Saturday night, while other people at Ion were eating MREs and
really roughing it
and skirmish burgers and stuff like that. We cooked up just, I think, 12-ounce ribeyes and 40 pounds, I think, of shrimp. I think we did 40 pounds of shrimp. Something like that. We bought them in the bag frozen. We just let them defrost for a little while. And we made surf and turf with asparagus, salt, pepper, garlic powder, a little bit of Montreal seasoning, and then butter just for good measure. And we put them on the flat top. So we had like a full fucking restaurant quality steak.
That is amazing.
It was good. And then the first day we did tacos. So that was we had tacos, onions, peppers. What else? Oh, on the steak we did mac and cheese too. Because why not, right?
Yeah, of course.
Why not make some camp mac and cheese?
Of course.
So we really go big on the food part of the camp trip because we're all getting older. What I've learned, because we bought brownies from like BJ's, we buy like the trays. We bought brownies, we bought cookies, we bought Pop-Tarts, snacks, all that kind of stuff. But I guess we're getting older. We're getting a little bit healthier, not by choice. So like almost all of the cookies were still there. Like a quarter of the brownies were missing. Like it just wasn't as much as we normally eat. We ate a lot, but like all healthier crap.
Yeah.
However,
chicken.
I did have a secret stockpile of RV only food.
That's the way you got to do it.
I bought pizza bagels and I put them in the freezer. And then I bought the ice cream Snickers. And I kept them in the RV freezer. Every now and then I just go in the RV for 5 minutes. I eat ice cream Snickers. I go back out. No one needs to
come
know.
back, ice cream all over your... What you got, Joe?
I ain't got shit.
What you got? You holding out on us, Joe?
I ain't got shit. You ain't got nothing. You got no proof. RV's locked. You can't get in. You don't know the code. You can't get in. You get nothing.
What's the password, bitch?
You know, up until this point, speaking of passwords, I didn't realize, you know how like the old Fords and Chevys and stuff, they had that thing on the side where it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest fucking, because you don't press one button for 9 or 0. It's 9/0.
Yeah.
So our RV had a code of like 6, 3, 4, 6 or something like that, or 7, whatever the number is. And I'm like, that's just 6636. And they were like, no, it's the number here. I'm like, make brain easier. That's the same 2 numbers 4 times.
Yeah.
You don't have to do all the extra numbers. You can't press that button. And then that's when I realized how stupidly designed those are.
I still remember the code to my grandmother's Mercury Grand Marquis. 7812125690.
Yeah, like it.
The 90 is to open the trunk.
Oh, okay.
Everything else is to unlock the doors. The doors were first.
Doors are first. Back was it. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's just 5 numbers. You could just do that whole thing. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't have to put 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. It's completely
makes it more complicated.
Yeah, it's completely unnecessary.
I guarantee you someone in Ford is just like, I'm gonna make this the most difficult code ever. 7, 8, 1, 2. It's like, bro, just
you said the same numbers twice in all of those. We could just put it to the first numbers and be completely fine.
Yeah, 4 and watch said 6636.
Yeah, that was the number. But it wasn't actually 6636. It was like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was actually like 6536, I think was the number. I was like, no, it's not. It's 6636.
Yeah. Because
fuck out of here with that 5.
Here's the thing. When I memorized the numbers, I didn't know the actual code. I just knew 7, 8, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. I'm so glad that thing died. It's so stupid.
No, I think some Fords still have it.
No, why?
I'm pretty sure some Fords still use that keypad.
That's so unnecessary.
But it's like the semi-digital.
Oh, now
touch.
they're like pushy buttons.
Not even buttons. They're just like.
Well, that's what the RV had, was just like push, like sensitive.
Yeah,
but I thought they used to have like the big nice buttons.
My grandmother's did. Yeah. It was a 98 Grand Marquis, so like it was a boat. And it had the rubber, and it had that satisfying, like, it was literally like pushing one of these buttons.
Yeah, that's what
it was great. Just like, so good. So solid. But
yeah, no. Overall, RV, perfect. We want one.
I was gonna say, did that scratch?
Yeah, 100%.
The itch and make it worse?
Yeah, no, it worse because
so Pocono next year.
Oh,
we're using your RV.
We might have an RV by that point. We'll see what happens. I already started like going on like the shopping, like the RV camper worlds and whatever, and just like, all right, so what one would I want? And like, you know, we did the one where it's like I think it's an F450 body.
Okay.
And then the RV just, you know, slaps on the back.
Yeah, it just goes on top.
And Dish was like, we got to the fuel station. It was 60 miles from his house. He goes, it's not that bad. I'm only a third done with the tank. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, that's not bad. And then we started driving, and we had our walkie-talkies. We don't cell phone. We have walkie-talkies like we're in fucking Fast and Furious.
We do that for Maine.
Yeah.
It's great.
Like 5 minutes into us driving again, I just pick up the walkie-talkie, and I was like, wait a minute, a third is not that bad? We drove 60 miles. And then he gets back on the walkie-talkie. No, I drove like an extra, like I had to pick it up from the guy first, which is like another 45 minutes. I think he said like 30 or 35 miles. So he's like, it's actually closer to 100 miles driven. I was like, okay, that's not terrible. Like a third of a tank, 100 miles. That's not awful. So, yeah, it was good.
I was distracted by an email from work, and the phrase or the sentence in the email was, and I quote, "Pork roll, egg, and cheese vodka now exists."
Two things. One, I'm glad you got that as a work email. and two, salty meat alcohol?
Specifically vodka. I know I completely derailed the conversation.
I'm interested. I'm cautiously optimist.
But if that's why my face went, huh?
Yeah, that's interesting. Very, very. Who? It has to be a Jersey vodka company.
It has to be.
No one in like Switzerland is like pork roll.
Yeah. Give me that Grey Goose pork roll, egg, and cheese, bruh.
Perfect. All right, who is it? Pork roll vodka. It's pork roll, egg, and cheese vodka. By the way, there's cheese in it.
Oh, is that not what I said?
No, you said just pork roll, which would have made more sense. For the record, it is indeed a Jersey distillery.
As it should be.
3BR Distillery in Keyport. Woo! We are so close. Guess where we're going after this show?
We are getting a sponsorship.
Oh, man. They are like, what, 8 minutes from us? Where are they at? 3BR Distillery.
I totally derailed this entire episode.
That's fine.
Ange in the comments goes, "What in the world did I just walk in on?" So apparently a New Jersey distillery is making pork roll, egg, and cheese vodka.
It is 15 minutes from my house right now. Also, it is like 30 seconds from our favorite fishery, which is the Keyport fishery. In case you're wondering.
So what time do they close?
That's what I'm checking. 10 p.m., Bob. We will have time.
Well, it's been fun. Thanks for listening.
We'll be back in an hour.
And if our speech is a little slurred, it's the pork roll, egg, and cheese.
Put it on the table.
We're getting Jersey ham.
Put an empty one on the table.
Angie goes in with that. I'm out.
What's the worst that can happen? Oh,
Also, earlier in the chat, 4M watches Graham's in summer camp. I think it's a basket weaving class.
Could be.
Yeah, just sitting there, everyone making baskets.
I thought he did the running thing at night. And that's why I made fun of them. Because I was like, do they run with their reflector thingies on? Because it's always, I think he does it with like it's long distance. Just like
So yeah, if he had that hat, he'd know where he's going.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. No, this is be safe.
If you're just joining us, Joe's hat lights up.
I can see everything all the time until the battery dies, in which case I will not be able to see everything.
True. By the way, my favorite thing is the video you sent me. Should we roll that video now? And just for our podcast listeners, I'm going to play a little bit of the music in the background just to so there's something going on. But yeah, they got this video from Ion.
So on. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, so close. Yeah! We just finished putting up our 26-foot Temu flag pole.
It's so good.
You don't notice how big a flag is that you purchase until you hold said flag. So like normally flag poles usually have 3x5 flags.
Yeah.
This is typical.
It's like the one Graham and I held up.
That's a 3x5. That's a 5x8. I didn't think it was that big. I didn't think it looked that big. I didn't think it felt that big. And then we went to go put it up, and I was like, "Oh, this is a big fucking flag." And in true fashion, at the end on Sunday, I took down the flagpole. I took the flag out. I had one of the guys help me, and then we folded it like the fucking American flag triangles, and I handed it to Dish. Here you go, just like that. Just here's your flag. I tucked in the corner, made it look nice and neat. Except it's a German flag, so it's just black. But it was really funny. We had so many flags out.
It's amazing.
We had that one. We had the one you were talking about, the one that we raised before on our tent.
Mm-hmm. You might have seen it as like a little clip in the corner of the video.
And then we had not one, but 2 flags out on Ion.
Yes.
On the field. We had 2 flags with us. But
God bless America.
It was nuts. It was yet again a crazy Ion. Germans won this year, 50-48. It was a very close game. This year,
just because more people were doing objectives, or
the whole thing is objective based. So yes, they did take the beach a little bit fat. Well, not a little bit. 2 years ago, we held them onto the beach until like Sunday afternoon.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a lot. I don't know what happened last year, and then this year, they didn't cut the lawn. So it was really high, like grass really high. And the Americans like just slaughtered us on the beach. They ran through in probably about an hour and a half. Yeah, so it wasn't a good one for the Germans on the beaches. I was up in the front for like the first half hour, 40 minutes, trying to like not go through paint as quickly as I normally do. And I was just laying up in the front, like all the way up. And I'm shooting a couple people. I get a couple people out. I'm hiding in grass so nobody sees me. And then I see a smoke come by and like hit like not that far from me. And I was like, it's going to be a problem. So I try to go grab it and like throw it somewhere else. And that's when I turned around to see how many people were still with me and realized there weren't any. And I was like, oh,
I'm in danger.
I'm the only target when I get up to leave. And then I look over, and there's a ref with the umbrella just like 10 to 15 feet from me looking at me. And I was like, don't give away my position. Don't look at me. I'm the only one here. Don't look at me. Pretend to look somewhere else. Help me out. And I get up to leave because I hear everything getting closer. And ooh boy. It was a lot to the back. but I got into the woods. I got reacquainted with some cover, and then I saw a group of people starting to come through. They thought they were in cover. They were actually wide open from where I was standing. So I shot out 2 full squads of people.
Nice.
And one guy didn't want to leave, so took a whole pot of paint. But ref got there. So, yeah, overall, very fun. Ion, still fantastic. The staff this year was fantastic. They had a lot more staff than normal. So,
okay.
A couple years prior, it was hard getting out onto the field on time. There just wasn't enough people like chronoing markers and taping everybody up to get out. And there weren't a lot of people in the field, so people were just like not getting out because no one's telling them to. This year they had either a much larger group or
More efficient.
Yeah, just more efficient. But they were able to. It was good. It was a lot more clean this year, so that was fun.
Good.
Yeah, overall, it was good. The rain held off for like the intro and the fighting and everything like that. It just rained towards the tail end of the day, which, yeah, all you could ask for.
Oh yeah.
But I know on the Ion page, like the Facebook page, everyone was like, if you're gonna be leaving later on Sunday, just a heads up, NASCAR is out around 2:30. So
that brings me into my weekend.
yes.
So Ange and I went her first ever NASCAR experience.
Mm-hmm.
Friday we get to the track probably around like noon-ish for practice, qualifying, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We check it out, and they have for lunch hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
You've had the hot dogs before. They're
I'm a fan.
They're pretty notorious around the NASCAR media circuit.
I think I had like 8.
See, I told you. And they're okay. You know, they're nothing to write home about. They're really thick and have an interesting consistency.
After 15,000 steps, those hot dogs are like Jesus.
Yeah.
I'd drink the water if I had to.
That's fair. So we had that. The chili that came with it was very questionable.
I said that last year.
It was almost like if you threw grease on top of sawdust.
I hate that. I hate that vision.
Like if you fry up some ground beef,
Mm-hmm.
you take the oil from the ground beef, you strain it,
Mm-hmm.
and you just have the oil.
Mm-hmm.
You throw that on top of some sawdust. That's basically the consistency.
Why did you paint that picture for everyone so clearly?
Because it's accurate. And because I will never eat a hot dog again.
I remember leaving there saying I don't want to see a hot dog for like a month. But that's firmly because I ate entirely too many hot dogs.
Every time I'd walk into the Pocono Media Center, the way it lays out, you walk in, it's like a lounge area.
Mm-hmm.
They have the front desk, they have some couches, some like eating tables, some high top tables, and like the food buffet area thing on the left, which is just chafing dish and like catering staff.
Yep.
And then in the other room is like the deadline room. So it's got the stage. We sat in the exact same spot that we sat last year.
You're still in the front?
So front row. So we had all that kind of stuff.
Literally paste from kindergarten, but chili flavored.
Chili flavored, yes.
Gross.
So, you know, that's kind of the layout of everything. Every time I walked into that lounge area,
Yep.
you'd be sitting at either a couch or a table.
Mm-hmm.
Got another glizzy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah.
Every time I walked in that room, I was like, if I'm in that room, there's a hot dog in my hand.
So we take the golf cart ride up to the media center, or up to the press box. We watch the race. Rain comes with like 10 laps to go. And we're like, all right, it's going to rain. It's getting dark out. They're probably going to call the race, or it's going to finish under caution. Let's head back. Let's head back to the media center and get out. I don't really care who wins. I'm not here for race audio. So we leave. As we're leaving the track, we hear, whoa, and I look up and they're back racing. And I'm just like, all right. So we listened to it on the way back to the hotel, but leaving the track, seeing them drive across the tunnel as we're getting ready to go under the tunnel was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had, just because it's an angle I've never seen Pocono from.
Yeah.
And being able to be right there and watching them drive over your head was just a cool experience.
Yeah, last year when we went, I wanted to go down there, but it was just such a goddamn walk.
Oh, well, and you had so much gear on you,
and
too.
I had that big camera. Like, I don't want to walk all the way down there, and then I got to go all the way back. So I just kept to
But
turns.
next year you'll have this.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. So last year I stuck with camera or angles or turned 1 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
I skipped 2. I just didn't want to touch 2.
Yeah. You would have gotten some great shots at turn 1. There was a massive wreck on Sunday.
Solid. Yeah, I gotta see what I could do. Maybe next year they'll let me bring like I have that little scooter or something. Maybe just roll around. Go park it, turn the key off. Like, what? I'm just getting some photos. I'm staying on the outside.
Yeah. You'll well, plus you'll have the RV, so you can go back to the RV.
That's true.
So that was Friday. Saturday, we get there all day for the race, for the Xfinity race.
Yeah.
Because it was trucks on Friday, Xfinity on Saturday, no ARCA this year. And then the Cup Series on Sunday. We go Saturday, we come, we finish up with the race, we get back to the hotel room. Oh, I mean, if Ange doesn't want to go,
Oh,
you can go if you want, Joe.
Oh, if I really have to.
So Saturday we go and we're like, all right, we're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
There's a casino nearby.
Yep.
You and I went to the casino last year.
Damn right.
You won like what, $40?
Oh no, I lost all the money. You won.
Oh, that's
That's the rub.
See, I won $20, but I kept it.
Right.
This year I won $20 first roll.
Uh.
Or actually, no, sorry, I won $2.
Ooh.
I put 20 in and I got $2 back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right, cool. I'm done. And
$2.
she hits and she's like $20. And she's
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, well, let's go to this machine. Down to like 17. Let's go to this machine. Down to like 12. Let's go back to this machine. Back to 20. I'm like, all right, we should probably get going. And she's like, well, hold on. Let's do one more.
Hey.
So we go to another machine. She spins, and all of a sudden, it's giving her like other like. It's like, oh, here's 3 free spins because it's like some other weird slot machine game.
Yeah.
Walks out with like what, like $34.
We take those.
And I look, I'm like, yeah, it's 10 o'clock. We should probably get going. She's like, oh, I could have gone for another hour at least.
That's that dopamine hit.
But we had the best hibachi we've ever had at that casino. There's a sushi bar. Ange got a chicken hibachi. I got General Tso's chicken.
Mm-hmm.
I also got a sake martini.
Nice.
Delicious. And we both got like a thing of sushi. It was so good. I want to go back there next year just for the sushi, or just for the sushi bar.
Oh no, I guess I have to gamble again.
Oh darn.
Oh darn.
And Ange goes, it's probably amazing because we were both starving. Yeah, that
does it. What did we have last year? We had
we went to I think it was like
burger
Molly
place, right?
McShay. It was like an Irish sports pub.
Yeah, we went to just a sports bar and I got like a burger. Oh, this burger's so good. It was. I was just starving.
I was actually kind of disappointed with the burger because I got the Guinness burger.
Yeah.
And it was just very like stouty.
I mean, the checks out.
Right, but for a burger to taste like stout, I'm just like halfway through. I'm just like, this is.
Yeah, I think I got with more of like a regular, and I was a fan. But at that point, I think I also had like, I think 22 or 23,000 steps on the day.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, give me food. I need carbs.
Well, the best part I think about eating that dinner was this group of 3, I'd say probably late 50s, early 60s, maybe a little bit older. Drunk off their ass. They sit down and everyone that's walking by, oh, hey, so-and-so, what's going on? Like, gone.
Like they knew each other, just like sending it.
But friends with the people that are walking by. Oh, hey, Cheryl, how's it going? Like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
They go to the waitress. I don't want to sit I want to sit in the dark corner of the restaurant. Like one of those kind of deals. The queen of the group is talking to her other group and just goes, and I quote, "Yeah, I think I'm going to order the General What's-His-Face chicken." Which is just the quote of the century.
The General What's-His-Face.
And just the General What's-His-Face chicken.
That's, oh God.
They're both double fisting drinks.
If I ever get a restaurant, I'm going to call something General What's-His-Face chicken. Is just such a, you know what? That's gotta be a barbecue sauce someone makes.
Ooh, and it's General So inspired.
Yeah, it's General What's-His-Face.
But not quite, and it's called General What's-His-Face chicken.
Yeah, seasoning,
yes, done.
Either that or a hot sauce.
Ooh,
Asian
inspired.
I think we're onto something.
That's what we call the tabletop trio sauce with John and White House Station.
Yes.
General What's-His-Face.
General What's-His-Face.
Have more Asian inspired.
Yeah.
More ginger, sesame.
Oh, I'm here for it.
Little soy sauce in there.
I think we got something. I think we're on to something.
Ange, this is all you.
I know you listen to this podcast the next day. We got it.
Yeah. John, go to the 34 and 20-second mark.
We're on to it. We figured it out.
We have your next hot sauce, John.
We've done it.
The collab with us and Cast Iron Kyle. Let's do it. General What's-His-Face.
General What's-His-Face sauce. I think we've done it. I think we figured it out. I love the absolutely hammered people stories. So this weekend, two of the guys at the camp, more than two, but these two in particular, got super hammered and then wandered off with our golf cart. Now, granted,
oh no,
one of the guys that was hammered was technically the weekend owner of the golf cart, so you couldn't really fault him.
Yeah.
Apparently disappeared for about 4 hours, came back at like 11 o'clock at night with two strangers, grabbed alcohol, and then left again. More importantly, without the golf cart. So, at Ion, I think it's 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night, they do not allow any gas vehicles after that time because they're loud and people are obnoxious.
Yeah.
So the golf cart we had was electric. So they were able to go. They were able to go out and just drive around.
Yes.
However, they apparently got pulled over 4 times with them yelling that they're not allowed to be on the road. And then them having to explain that, no, they are allowed. It's electric.
Boogie, woogie, woogie.
And that's when they came back to me and told me, I was like, please tell me at least one of these times that one of you in your drunken stupor said, no, we're allowed, it's electric. And then the other one went, boogie, oogie, oogie, as you just stepped on the gas and drove away. Because that's what my mind did. But no, they just sat there and they were drunk. And they quote, were designated drunk drivers. So apparently they were dropping people off from campgrounds. But
oh God.
I was like, so let me get this straight. You guys got pulled over 4 separate times for driving an electric car that you weren't supposed to drive because they thought it was gas. And you being hammered wasn't the problem any of those times. And they're like, no, they didn't care that we were hammered.
If you're joining us, we're talking about a golf cart, not an actual car.
Yeah, it was a golf cart. And it was a closed road. They don't let cars through at certain times. It's just like one road in, one road out.
Like all of Pocono.
Pretty much. So they came back the one time, grabbed alcohol and 2 random people that were with them, and then they disappeared for like another 2 hours, and then they came back with the golf cart. However,
oh no,
they lost the keys to the golf cart. So Saturday morning rolls around. We go to like play. No one knows where the golf cart keys are. So what do? Spencer takes apart the dash. We hotwire the he just hotwired the golf cart.
Oh no.
What are you gonna do?
Well, all golf cart keys are the same.
Kind of. Yeah, it's a $15.
Oh,
It's a $15
no.
thing that just clicks in there. He's like, what am I supposed to tell the guy? He's like 80. It's a Harley Davidson, like 1984 or 80 something golf cart. It's got like the Harley Davidson lettering like stitched in and stuff like that. I was like,
It's fine.
it's a key upgrade. You're welcome. I made it more secure. Like
It's modernized.
it's literally just 3 wires and the key turns it to start it. There's nothing there. Like literally nothing there to start that thing. So all we had to do was take it off and like green wire goes here. We started it. So
amazing.
yeah, we drove around the whole day. I was the designated driver because I have a bum ankle. So I went out. I did my thing. I got my legs swelled up.
Ooh.
And I was like, well, I guess I'm driving the rest of the day.
This ain't
So
good.
I was just making trips back and forth, dropping people off to like air up, grab some more paint, go back out. I was like doing like friggin' troop resupplies.
That's amazing.
It was fun. It was it's always fun in Ion, but yeah. The hammered stories that came Sunday morning. One of the guys was like, "Could someone fill me in on what happened?" I was like, "I wasn't there."
Yeah, for Sunday for us, so we stayed actually about 15 minutes closer to the track than where we stayed last year.
Really?
And paid a little bit more than last year, but my buddy's brother is not the GM there anymore. So stayed at a different place. Normally 30 to 35 minutes from the track. It took us on Sunday 2 hours to get to the track.
Whoa.
And those 2 hours were spent in the 2 miles closest to the racetrack.
Really?
Because that storm was so violent and lightning in the area and all that, they had to pull the majority of staff and have them seek shelter.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad real fast.
So we were just stuck in the middle of nowhere on the wrong side of the road. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, well, we're going to get there in plenty of time. That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But 2 hours
That's a lot.
to go 2 miles. And then when we got in there, you know where the tunnel to get in? We get there, there's 2 lines to get in and only 1 lane to get into the track. Well, the 1 line was filled with people who turned into the wrong fucking gate like a bunch of idiots.
Love that.
So they're all turned around. It's dumping down rain, so a lot of people are leaving from the infield thinking that the race is canceled.
I feel that. I've been there.
I have never been so afraid
Yeah.
of Ange in that moment. I have never seen her that angry.
Yeah, when I sit in traffic for a long time, it gets bad. It gets not good.
But we finally make it in. But the 1 lane that we were stuck in, because the one guy told us to get in that fucking line, wasn't moving, while the other line was moving just fine to get in, because our lane was filled with idiots who went into the wrong gate and are all trying to turn around. Meanwhile, there's campers and shit leaving because they think the race is going to get canceled. Because it's 10 o'clock in the morning, we have 4 hours until the race, and it's only going to rain for another hour.
Yeah.
But they left, they're leaving, so everyone's trying to leave. It's gridlock traffic at the intersection, so no one's able to turn around. So we're stuck there. They had to move cones to let us in, and I'm just like, I just want to park. I just want to park.
You just want to kick everything.
And at that point, I'm just like, I just want to park. I want to get into the parking lot and just relax. It's going to be okay.
I would just put my blinker on and I just want to move over.
Well, and then I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, just breathe. Just be quiet. It's okay.
No, see,
But the race went well.
yeah.
We didn't get home until 11 o'clock at night.
It rained so suddenly, so rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, we saw it coming because, again, big open field. So we're, like, trying to pack down camp. And then one of the guys goes, that's a pretty dark cloud. I'm like, you shut the fuck up.
No, really, look.
Don't you wish that upon us? That cloud, nothing. It's not going to be a problem at all.
Fine.
Just shut the fuck up and keep packing is all. And then we look up again. We're like, fuck, that's coming fast. And it's like one drop. And I was like, maybe it'll just stay like this. And it was just like sideways. And I was like, well, I'm going to go sit in the RV.
And poor Ange. So, you know how the parking lot, oh, no, we didn't have any rain last year.
No, we didn't have any rain.
So that media parking lot floods.
Oh, good.
And I had kind of forgotten about that because it hadn't rained in a while since I've been at the track.
It's been solid.
And you see in the chat there on Twitch, Angie goes, then we got out of the car and Bob made me walk through a puddle. Because there were a lot of puddles.
Oh, yeah, no, I was there it was sunny when we were there.
Mm-hmm. So we do the race, all that. We take the golf cart down, and you've seen the traffic getting out of the elevator because there's only 2 elevators.
Yep.
For the entire second and third floor.
And then the one time we were there was only one elevator.
That's right, because the one elevator broke down.
They broke it for a little bit.
So we do that. We take the golf cart ride back to the media center. And because the 2-lane road coming out of the track is turned to everyone exiting, we had to take a shortcut. And I remember last year they took us right to the entrance of turn 1.
Yep.
And we drove through the garage and all that. This year they took us back past turn 2 or turn 3 and cut across the gate that way after driving through the camping area. But there was a gridlock traffic again because everyone was trying to leave. We had to wait for a bus to come out. So we finally get on, and the person driving the golf cart got lost.
Oh.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, we're on the road course. I know where we are. And at one point, the person in the front seat who's driving, she just goes, all right, if you guys see an entry or like a gate or something we could drive through, let me know. So we drive through and we're following. In my head, I'm just like, oh yeah, we're going to turn through here. The track loops around. It's going to carry through.
I know these roads.
I was proud of her though. She did go down and like follow the racing line for the one corner. I'm like, yes.
You're good.
But the people watching during that ride was immaculate. There was a man dressed as Sasquatch. Just sitting in a camping chair outside of his RV with a Trump sign. Ange nor I thought it was a person. Because we're sitting there and we both like look, and the guy's just sitting there like normal, and then he just goes. And we're just like, huh.
It can't be real.
It was horrifying.
How
I got jump scared by a man in a Sasquatch costume.
It was like 80 something degrees and humid.
Yeah, full Sasquatch costume.
Disgusting.
Complete down to like the feet.
That had to be so disgustingly wet.
Oh, it had to have been vile.
Yeah, because like
a lot of people brought pools. So they're like sitting with their feet in the pool. The people by the parking lot. Remember how last year we saw they had an Intex pool set up?
Yeah.
They were there again. They had an inflatable couch this year as well.
Solid. We did the inflatable couch one year, but someone got drunk and then slept on it and then peed on it. And that was it for the inflatable couch. Well, the problem is with the inflatable stuff is that, like I said, it goes from hot to cold to hot to cold. So they just don't keep air. They just fade. Maybe next year if we go, we'll bring. If I get an RV, we'll see what happens. I'll bring a friggin' pop-up pool. See if they can give us a hose for a little bit.
Honestly,
just give us some water.
Well, you can pay to have power. I think it's like a $500 extra.
Oh, to hook
to
up
have like power hookups and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, I mean, if you got hookups for like water and gas and stuff.
That's right. Also, sorry, I'm replying to a text message out loud. We were also taking the golf cart, and we hear one guy go, and I quote, "No way, it's corn on the fucking cob," as we're driving through the camping area. No way, it's corn on the fucking cob.
Is that supposed to be like a not common thing for grilling?
I have no idea. We also watched a very drunk man say "fuck Denny Hamlin" to a small child wearing a Denny Hamlin hat. The mother turned around, and I thought we were going to watch a man get killed.
That's hilarious.
We were also stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic in a golf cart because we couldn't get around. There was a lot of traffic on Sunday because it was sold out. They sold out everything. The grandstand, and you know how huge those grandstands are.
Mm-hmm.
They sold that out. They sold infield and outfield camping. Like, everything was sold out for that weekend. But on Saturday, I did get a piece of the winning car's burnout.
What?
We crossed the track on Saturday to get back to the media center, and where the gate was to cross the track, that's just where the winner happened to be doing his burnout. So there were shreds of tire on the track. So I picked up a shred of tire, and I have that with me.
Solid.
We climb over the pit wall. There were lug nuts on the ground. I tell Ange to pick one up. She has her lug nut. Just like how I'm pretty sure you have a lug nut too.
I grabbed several, but that's just I was there. I'm getting to take photos. I'm like, I have one of those. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. I think every day I just grab like 3 or 4 lug nuts, just put it in my pocket. It's like, this is mine.
None of us got to line up next to a team.
This is mine.
For the national anthem.
It was so romantic.
I love how the juxtaposition with her last message that says "worst day of my life." It was so romantic.
Really sums up all the feelings for NASCAR fans.
But I mean, other than that, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like the craziness of it. I like. The noise is fun, but like just the craziness of you never really know what's going to happen. There's a lot of people. It's just a fun, interesting thing. I'm still not a fan of like watching it like on TV and stuff.
Oh, for sure.
But in person, it is just a completely different experience. But like I said, I'm like that with like most sports.
Yeah.
I don't really like watching. I like doing.
Yeah. Well, and Ange was even saying, she's like, I would go to another race with you as a fan. I don't know if she's like, I don't know if I would do the media side again. However, air conditioning was nice.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, yeah. And I prefer to be up in the press box so I could watch the race.
Yeah.
Instead of watching it on TV downstairs in the media center.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like, I would go up to the press box because I had my laptop up there with you. So I could like just dump photos, see what I got, then go back down, get some more photos. I was kind of up and down and up and down and up and down. But I wasn't really watching the race.
No.
So much as participating in NASCAR.
Yeah.
Is like the best way I could explain how it works.
Yeah.
Because
then I would be texting you updates like, hey, I got this going on, or oh, so-and-so just wrecked in turn 3.
Yeah, like I didn't know what was going on turn 2 because I just wasn't there. When I went to turn 3, when I went to turn 1, I was too far away to see the screen for turn 3, or other way around, wherever the screen was. I was too far away to see it from the one side. So I didn't really know like when someone was doing something or who was in the lead or anything like that. So I kind of had to go on like crowd reaction if something was happening. And then more importantly, it's like you take a couple photos and then you look down at those photos to see if any of them are good. And then you have to set up again in 35 seconds. You have to be ready again for a photo. So it's not like you take a couple photos and then you got a couple minutes for you to like flip through and see what's going on. It's like 30 photos, scroll through. You have 15 seconds. So just kind of click through, see if any of them are good. and then set up again and get ready to go. It's fun, but you're very much, you're not watching the race, you're participating in it.
Well, this year, today, actually, just earlier today, NASCAR announced that the Whelen Mazda series, like the MX-5 racing series, is doing a 100-lap race at Martinsville, which is a short track oval. So Mazdas are racing at Martinsville.
Interesting.
It is going to be insane. And I would do many things to be able to go to that weekend.
Where is
Virginia?
Oh, it's not that far.
So when are you getting this RV?
When's the race?
I will let you know.
I actually, I was looking at MX-5s because depending...
November 3rd is Martinsville.
Close to my birthday. Not close enough, but close. We shall see. I was looking at MX-5s because, I've always wanted one. And after sitting in my mom's Corvette and worrying, I now have to double check to see if I could even fit in an MX-5.
Oh, no.
My mom has an 04 Corvette, the car I've always wanted, in yellow, like I've always wanted. And she was on vacation, so I was at the house, and I was like, oh, I gotta move the car real quick, so better just go move it out the street real quick, down the street,
around the corner.
So I go and I get the car, and I'm driving, and first things first, my mom's like 5 foot, she's tiny, and you get in the car, and you push the button, seat adjusts to my mom.
Oh, no.
Seat just starts slowly moving up. It's like a fucking scene from...
like Saw?
Not Saw, the other one. Final Destination. I was like, not like this, not like this! I don't want to die like this! And it just gets closer and closer and closer. And I'm like, fuck, where's the thing to change the seats? And I finally found the button, and I stopped it from going forward.
Meanwhile, face in the horn.
I was up there. I was pretty close. And I pushed it all the way back. I pushed as far as I can go back. And I was like, am I too fucking tall for a Corvette? I'm 5'9". I can't be too tall for a Corvette. But sure enough, if I go from foot on gas to lift foot to press brake, my kneecap hits like the under...
Oh, no.
dash of the car. So I am either my feet are too big or I'm too long.
Oh,
but
God.
It's not a comfortable fit for me.
How did midlife crisis dads do it?
I don't know. I was really sad. And then I was talking to my brother, and he's like, have you sat in the new Corvettes? And I was like, why? He goes, they are worse.
Oh.
Because they are like bucket racing seat now because there's no center console. They're kind of just scooped in.
Yeah.
So he's like, it's even shorter, and you are now held in place. There's no regular seat. You are in a little bucket. So it's even worse. So if you had trouble,
race car.
He's like, if you had trouble getting into this one, it's gonna be worse getting into the other one.
Oof.
And I was like, well, shit. Because I want an MX-5. I've always wanted a Miata. But those are smaller than Corvettes are.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, am I going to have an issue where, I can't fucking get to the gas and brakes, without bumping my knee into the dash? I hope not.
Or, double footing it.
Yeah, or having to double. The only thing I could think of is the Corvette doesn't have an up-down adjustment, and I'm praying that the MX-5 does.
I would assume it does because it's convertible.
Yeah.
Well, some of them are.
Well, I remember back in the day, I sat in an S2000. I was like 16 or 17.
Oh, such a cool car.
Oh, I was like looking to buy one because I was like, it can't be that much, right? Because like it's an S2000. It's basically a Miata, but you can still buy Miatas, so they can't be that much. I was wrong. For the price of an S2000, just you can buy a brand new Miata for like $8,000 more. It's not even worth it. It was like 20.
Curious to see what a new MX-5 goes for now.
I think it's 28 to like 35, depending, somewhere thereabout.
Not too bad.
It depends. They have one where you could buy the race spec one, just like from Mazda.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, here's your race car. Ta-da. Kind of like the, whatchamacallit cars. The little, not Arca, the Legends cars. You just buy it, and they're like, you get to do all the races. I think it's the same thing with Mazda. You could just buy like a ready-to-go race car Mazda.
Let's see, the 2024 Mazda MX-5 Miata RF.
Mm-hmm.
Starting at $37,000.
Yeah.
Ooh, you get 2.9% APR.
That's actually not that bad.
And owner loyalty cash, $500.
Well, I'm not a loyalty owner until I buy one.
I love the clip. Designed to seduce, engineered to astound.
I was watching.
No, people want the Miata because it looks happy.
Yeah. I was looking at I think it was a donut video. They had the guy who designed the Miata like reviewing cars that didn't quite make it into production, and he was just going over like why this one failed and why that one failed. And it was just really funny to listen to. He's like, "They has no fucking design. What is that? Where is it? Where does it go? You tried to make it look like a face, but you look stupid. You had a stupid face."
Cybertruck be like,
yeah, but always wanted one. Now I'm terrified to sit in one.
Because that's me with the Dodge Viper.
Because I remember S2000. I sat in it. It fit like perfect. But that was 16-year-old Joe before like 3 to 4 inches of growth. So I remember my dad sat in it, and his head was over the dash, like, over the window, like by like a good margin. And I'm taller than him now.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, a little scary.
So now I'm like, if I go into Miata, I'm going to be really sad if I sit in it. I'm just like, here's the glass, here's my fucking head. Like, now what do I do?
Fucking wacky racers.
Yeah, like, now what? So, I don't know. I'm just terrified of that.
It's funny, my buddy used to have a Toyota Celica. And it was just like a beater shit car, like high school kid, whatever. He was older than me, so he got his license before me. So he'd be like, oh yeah, I'll drive. I, even in high school, did not fit in a Celica. He had to have the sunroof open at all times. We're driving down 295. My forehead, just from like here on up, is outside of the car. Yeah, not by choice.
Those things were tiny. Celicas were very small cars.
So I'm just, and I had to like sit like, kind of angled this way.
Try to get under.
Because if I sat in the seat normally, I'd have to sit like this. Or I could sit up normal and just lean on like the center console and just be like, yep, I'm good.
This is fine. Everything's fine.
My head would get in the way while he was shifting because it was a manual too.
Oh,
so
God.
We're driving down and he's like, do you mind moving? I'm just like sitting here like completely contorted out of the way.
No, this is fine. I like this.
And I'm like, couldn't your mom just drop us off at the mall?
I know you like your car, but like, come on.
And he's like, come on, this is awesome. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I am so flip-floppy on cars right now. Because I'm like, do I need a truck again? If I don't need a truck again, I get a car. If I get a car, I can get any car. What car do I get? Do I just go full midlife crisis and get a Miata? I could do one grocery. I can get food or cat litter. Can't do both. And Elena was like, well, if you get a Miata, it's not like the worst, right? Like you could still have like back seats, right? And I was like, have you looked at how long a Miata is? There's no back seats. There's barely front seats.
It's a go-kart.
it's a
go-kart. Legal go-kart.
Yeah, with slightly more horsepower. Safe go-kart, but go-kart. But yeah, she's like, is it really that small? And then we were driving. I'm like, that's Miata. Yeah. And she's like, oh. She's like, oh, because my dad's Mercedes used to have like back seats. He had like one of the original, I think it's the SLKs or CLKs, whatever, like the 2-door coupe.
Yeah.
Like, he had one of
I used to love that in Gran Turismo.
Yeah, he had one of the OG ones. So she's like, they had like back seats there, but
it was
like
backseat adjacent.
Yeah, like you had like you could kind of get back there, a little. And I'm like, no, that car is considered a boat among Miatas.
A yacht.
Yeah, that was a yacht. So it was just going over the car world. But now Elena, because I've been talking about cars so much, and like my brother's a mechanic, it's been like long enough now. She'll be like, "Oh, is that like Ford?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, I know cars."
There is a guy I follow on social media, both TikTok and I think he's on Twitch and YouTube, that called Delivered.
Mm-hmm.
And you pay his company and he will negotiate and buy a car for you. And he's like, yeah, $1,000 flat fee. And he'll get you a deal. Like, it's so you don't have to worry about like calling different places, shopping along. Like, you just say, hey, I want a new Honda Pilot. And he'll be like, cool, give me 3 weeks. And he'll go out and he'll call different dealerships, get you the best price possible. All you have to do is show up and say, hey, yeah, I have this deal right here. Here you go. Here's a car. And that's it.
I don't know. For me, that's like...
He's like, I make between 70 and 100 sales a month. Him and his team.
Wow.
So he makes
70 to 100,000.
70, 100,000 a month between him and 3 other people on his team. And that's it.
I mean, that's not bad.
It's pretty damn good.
I'm one of those people. What do they call them? Oh yeah, masochist. Because to me, like, I go so far out of my way to find the car I'm looking for that like I end up having to drive to go get it.
Oh yeah,
because even with like all of my, I guess starting with my TL, when I got my TL, I had to go all the way down to Lakewood, find the one I was looking for, make sure I got the right color, it had the right features, get it at the right price I wanted. Like, it was a whole process. And then it's been worse ever since. I'm actually getting further away from New Jersey just to find the cars I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So, like, my first Cherokee, I drove all the way up to Bud Lake, which was like an hour drive.
Oh, God.
Because that was the only one that had the sound package in the regular version, because I didn't want leather seats and I didn't want any of the upgrades that were in the higher package. I just wanted the upgraded sound system in the normal body.
Yeah.
Which ended up working out for me because that one ended up being sought after. So when I went and sold it, I like made money on the sale.
That's pretty good.
That was a good one. Second Jeep ended up going even further. Was basically I was in New York to get the Wrangler, and again needed the Wrangler to have the sound system and the upgrade cloth. Again, very specific.
Yeah,
you would think that the sound system should be relatively straightforward at this point on cars. I got to imagine that's one of the biggest sales of a car.
Yeah.
Is like the good sound system. But I guess on the lower models, they don't want to put the sound systems in because then what's the incentive to get the more expensive model? So I drove another hour and 20 minutes or hour and 30 minutes to get the Wrangler. And then this one, I got really lucky and it was right around the corner from my house. So Elena's car was 55, 60 minutes away. We ended up driving because hers was a showroom model.
Yeah.
She has a Platinum Edition Nissan, which doesn't exist. The dealership was Platinum Nissan. So
that's like
why
a custom one.
That's why it says when you open up the door, it says Platinum on the fucking floor and lighting. It's the dealership. It's not
amazing.
The car model. But
so what you're saying is I should have you look for my next car.
Oh, I go
Because I have like 10 payments left.
I go absolutely well. Well, that's why I'm looking so much, because I have like, I think 7 or 8. And now I'm like, all right, now I need to start looking for what I'm going to be looking for so that I could start to narrow down what car, what features, gas mileage, that kind of stuff. Like, I go entirely too detailed. But Elena yells at me because she's like, you do that with fucking every purchase. There's no purchase that doesn't come with a set of statistics about the purchase. You never just go somewhere and buy something.
This is why you and I get along so well, because I'm the exact same fucking way. Because I'd be like, all right, what's this? What do the reviews say? How about this? Maybe I'll hold off. Come back another day. Maybe I'll do this. I don't know. This doesn't have that great reviews. Maybe I'll go for this one.
That's why I ended up picking up the new phone. I got the OnePlus Open. Why? It's the best opening phone. Like, it's the best front screen phone that is out so far. I did a bunch of research, and this ended up being the best one. And then they finally had it on sale, which I waited patiently for, and I traded in my Samsung. Got the big giant cameras on the back. The case is sick. This is not from them, but shouts out to the guys who made this. I think it's called Nilkin. Just a fantastic case. I've never felt a case that actually had like grip plastic on the back, an actual hinge system. When the phone opens, it'll hinge out to protect the hinges, and that's metal. Like that little camera bump
lens cap
is metal. It clicks in, so it gets good, and then it actually also counts and comes as a stand. So it actually does hold the phone open.
Amazing.
And because it's metal and on a hinge, you could actually change to all different heights and stuff. It was pretty sick.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So really surprised at the quality of a phone case. That's not something I usually ever even think about.
Like, this is the phone case that when I bought my phone, Verizon's like, oh, here, have a free phone case. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. Oh. Fun feature I didn't know phones still had. So I'm going through the menus on the apps, and it was like, remote. And I was like, what remote? And I click remote, and it was like, what TV do you have? And I was like, is this a fucking IR remote? How does it know? Does it use like some tricky Wi-Fi or something? Nope. The front corner still has an IR blaster on it.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, I'm back, baby. No bar is safe.
Oh, no, that's right. Oh, no.
I used to do that all the time from like 2007 to like 2015 when they stopped doing
Did not mean to do that.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, it's crazy to see old tech come back. Like, you remember ThinkGeek?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the Annoyatron?
Vaguely.
So I used to put Annoyatrons in my high school.
Of course you did.
Which were just...
Because that tracks.
That tracks. It was just a chirping noise. Like, you could set it to like 3 noises. I think one was like a fire alarm, like beep. One was a chirp, like a cricket. And then one was something else. I never used that one. They were like $10. It was a little tiny chip. And it could run for like 3 months on a battery.
Oh, my God.
And I remember I used to buy like 5 of them and then put them in the classrooms of the teachers I didn't like. Just hide them in the classrooms. I just saw a video on like TikTok or something. And mind you, ThinkGeek has been gone for several years now. I am fairly certain Annoyatrons don't exist anymore, like to purchase. At least I don't think they do. A video came out and they were like, look at this cool device. It beeps and chirps and makes annoying noises that you could put anywhere. And they last for like 3 to 6 months at a time. And I'm like, are they rehashing fucking 2007 or 2006 like joke tricks from like our generation? There's like new things now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on. It still uses 2032 batteries. I'm like, come on, at least modify
Upgrade
it.
something.
Yeah, you
like
could
modernize something.
You could put a fucking lithium ion battery in there. This thing could go for years. Like, what are we doing?
By the way, your lights outside just turned on, and it scared the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, because they fell down.
Because they fell, and they're swinging, and I just see this blue light going back and forth. I'm like,
Yeah,
what is that?
Kind of looks ghostly. I'm kind of here for it. Also,
I mean, it does look pretty
also,
badass.
It looks like it's raining.
Yeah.
Yay. Speak of the rain, and it shall appear.
But I feel like this is a pretty good jumping off point.
Yeah.
Unless we wanted to make a couple of announcements, or do you want to save that for next week?
We can save it.
All right.
We'll-
Tune in next week where we have 2 pretty big announcements for the podcast. You don't want to miss that. Going to be live next Wednesday, 8 o'clock Eastern, here on Twitch and YouTube, as well as Thursday morning, wherever you find your podcasts. We're going to be doing that. That's going to be a ton of fun. But in the meantime, make sure you check out our website, tabletoptrio.com. That's got all the info you need, whether we're hanging out at different events, photo galleries, that kind of shit. All there, tabletoptrio.com. Like I said, anywhere you find podcasts and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So for one final time, I'm Bob.
I'm Joe.
It's been the Tabletop Trio Podcast. Have a great night.